Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Well, I'm here to do something different today. Not exactly different, but it's an experiment. Because I like to make cookie paper, and I figure you can make cookie paper out of anything. And today I'm going to put that to the test and use all the offcuts of cookie paper that I have to make cookie paper. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I can't see why it wouldn't work, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing because these are not solid pieces of paper. They're just little offcuts, often with a lot of tissue paper or something holding them together. So it may or may not be a particularly solid piece of paper when we're done, but I think it's well worth a try to see what we come up with, because if there's something I'm not short of, it's cookie paper offcuts. I took all my cookie paper the other day while I was tidying my room up and cut all the edges off. I didn't make them any particular size, around the 30 by 40 centimetre mark or thereabouts, but I wasn't really measuring. It was just a case of making them so I could handle them and store them. So yeah, what I'm going to do is take all of these offcuts, and I have a bag full, and I'm going to cookie paper them. So I'm just going to glue them down, put plenty of glue on them, and then cover them with bits of tissue or napkin or whatever I happen to grab. Exactly the same way I would make a normal piece of cookie paper, but with cookie paper offcuts. So anyway, there's not much more to it. So I'm also going to be using scraps of tissue. So my tissue will be all different as well. So it's going to be an interesting looking thing when it's done. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Come along for the ride. Nothing like an experiment to keep life interesting. Yes, well, here is the bag. So as you can see, I've got plenty to draw from. I will probably only make a couple of pieces of this today because, like I say, I'm not sure how it's going to work. But I am actually itching to get all the rest done. As soon as I, am sure I'm going to be pleased with the results. So, yes, they will all be made into paper or cookie paper as soon as I can get the results from this little experiment and see if I need to change anything. As you may or may not have noticed, I am putting these with the tissue side down, and I am basically overlapping the tissue portion of each of these strips over the one that precedes it. I'm putting them as close together as I can so that there's not much space between them. I want this to be a relatively solid piece of paper like they normally are. There are obviously going to be gaps because I can't really tell what's happening too much with this paper and how it's sort of butting up against each other. It's just very messy, but I don't want it to be particularly see-through, shall we say. I think the tissue will be doubled up at least twice, so I think it will be sturdy enough, but you don't want too many gaps, else it'll just fall apart, I would imagine. So anyway, that's the idea. I'm butting them up against each other. I'm putting the tissue on the bottom because I'm going to put obviously tissue on the top now, and we'll just see what ends up happening. When I photograph it, I will actually hold some up to the light and we'll see how much light comes through, and see how sturdy it actually is. But I'm trying for a solid piece of Kooky paper, so we'll see how I go. Alright, that was one made. Let's get along and make another because I kind of enjoyed that. And I've got high hopes for it. So yes, here's a pile of those scraps. I don't know why I took them out of the bag. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. So let's get them stuck together. The beauty of using the sewing tissue as opposed to napkins is you really don't have to be that careful when you're gluing over the top. So that's always real nice. I'm not in too much danger of tearing a hole in it. So anyway, I'm going to put this aside and let them both dry overnight, and we will come back and peel them off the mat and see what we end up with. Should be quite exciting, I think. And here we are, next day. So let's see what we end up with, shall we? Well, I've got to say I'm quite pleased with this. It's a solid piece of paper, but you can see through it. There are gaps here and there where it is just tissue. I will try and demonstrate that to you by holding some up to the light when I photograph it at the end. But yeah, it's turned out really, really quite well. It's smooth on the back as per usual, and a bit crunchy on the front as per usual. But yeah, it's just like a real old piece of Kooky paper. So I'm going to cut them to usable sizes, or storable sizes, more the point, and yeah, then I'll take some stills and you can judge for yourself whether it was a success. But yeah, I am very pleased. This is just some of my Kooky paper I cut down, and I'm just comparing it here with the one we just made. So these are all the sheets. Well, there's a lot more than this, but these are the sheets that all the offcuts came from. So yeah, these ones made with the offcuts are much finer, if you like. The pieces are obviously smaller. They're cut off of the the larger pieces. So yeah, I actually think I might even prefer this to the originals. But well, without the originals, we couldn't make this. So yeah. Can't be throwing stones. I'm happy with all of it, to be honest. I'm just going to cut this into a rectangular piece, just neaten up the sides, thereby creating some more offcuts to make more Kooky paper. It's a never-ending cycle. But at least there is less offcuts than we'll take to make a page of Kooky paper, so I am winning a little bit. I'm going to cut them into rectangles, and then I do decide in the end that I will cut those rectangles in half. It's just the smaller size is easier for me to store, and yeah, it will fit in most journals, that size. So yes, that is what I will do, and then I will take some stills and leave you with those at the end so that you can see what it looks like, just, well, squared off, and also close up. And I will also take some holding it up to my desk lamp so you can see the light through it, and yeah, it's really very pretty. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try and make some if you have some Kooky paper and you do decide to neaten up the edges. Keep your offcuts. They make great Kooky paper. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a good thing I enjoy it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to stop nattering to you now and just leave you with the end of this and the few stills, and I will see you again hopefully next time. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and have yourselves a great day. Bye.